I will tell you the experience of Manifattura Knos in Lecce, an independent cultural center. That was in Lecce. That is in Lecce. What happened in 2004-2005 in my town? Some people, above all of my generation, came back in their town after university in Milan, Bologna, Torino, or other people that have traveled all over the world. We came back in our city thinking about what we had seen, how was our city. We didn't want to reproduce what we had seen in other place, but we had something inside us that brought us to do something for our city. So someone of us met in our city for the first time. Some of us knew already because of the student movement and so on. And we started to do some political action in our city, also artistical action, occupying park that were against the speculation of municipality. And also we took a big, huge building in the historical center of the city, Convitto Palmieri, and we started to renovate it during a month, opened it to all the citizens. It was an incredible moment. We wanted only to do an exposition, photographic exposition about the city, but everyone came saying, I want to make this, I want to do this. And during a month, it was really incredible. So we thought that we could stay there, but after sometimes the provincial administration, that was the owners of this place, put €1.5 million on the structure and started the works of renovation. So we had to leave away. We could only discuss with the big architect of the town that have the project in his hand. We could only discuss with him and try to make that the project, the building, could be useful for the citizen and used by the citizen, and not only a storage of books for the bibliothèque as they wanted. But this happened, but after 4 years. In that period, we wanted to serve this energy, so we started a discussion with the provincial administration about a place where we could stay, where we could renovate it, not with the archistar, but with the citizen. So there was a lot of time, and at the end we find the place. And that was a big problem for the public administration because they hadn't no money to renovate it, they didn't know what to do with this, and no one in the city was interested to it. It was abandoned for more than 10 years. The history that I'm telling you is in Lecce, that as you can see is in the south of Italy, just in front of Albania and Greece, in the middle of two seas, Adriatico and Ionio. And the people that lives there before Romans was Messapi, that means people between the two seas. Lecce is a town of less than 100 inhabitants, 100,000, yes, less than 100,000 inhabitants. And as you can see, Manifattura Knos is between the historical center and the big road that is around the city. This is the ancient center, and here is Manifattura Knos. It's a new district, built in the 60s, above all. So, you can see? Yes, we can see. So these things is Manifattura Knos. This one. This is an open air space that we use. Here there is a university. This is a big space that we use for parking, but maybe also for other things. This is a big sportive camp. Here there is one of the biggest church of the city with the sporting things. Here there is the second biggest cinema of the city. So here we are. I just want to show you how was the place when we entered the first time in front of us. It was a cemetery of a machine, and this was really a big problem for public administration, because they are machine public things that they can't throw away, but there was unuseful. It was a school. It was not a fabric. It was a school for engineer workers, metal workers, electrician and metal workers. But this school was abandoned after 90s because of the changing of the way of work. They didn't know what to do, and we need 20,000 euro to throw out this machine. We haven't 20,000 euro, and also the administration. When we entered there, everything was blocked as the moment the school lived away. This is the clock. We thought that 5 minutes before the end of the last classroom, they stopped the electricity and everything was blocked in this way. When we entered, everything blocked. This is a sort of this is one of the classroom. This one is a professor that helped us. He came and he helped us to reconstruct the history of this place. We find in the archive of the school the face of the student that were there. They were a student that didn't want to go to the other school, you know. And this is their classroom with the school desk. These are the kind of panel that they are. It was an art school, and all the students had to go away, emigration. No, it was they were prepared to go to work in Torino, Milano, in the great fabric of Italy, or in Switzerland, or in other places, Sweden, in other place of Europe. The roof was broken, so the rain came inside. It was really, really difficult. And this was our spiritual situation. You know, this is a photo made in that period with Maurizio. We didn't know what to do. We tried to discuss with the owners, the public administration, saying, okay, you leave the machine, you make a new roof, and we will do everything. But it was impossible because they hadn't the money. But we put in the convention of 4 years long with the public administration a little article saying that we could sell the machine broken, and we were obliged to use this money for the reconstruction. This is possible in Italy if you are a no-profit association. You can have the things of the public administration. But the problem was that to throw out these iron things to the man that would pay us for the iron, it was also too much expensive. So at the end, after some months, we found asking all over in Italy a man that that wanted to take the machine, to take some pieces of the machine for other machine, for other ancient machine. And so in this way, he take a lot of them away. A lot of them are in Manifattura Knos as memory of the place, and he paid us. So these are the moment in which we are leaving most of the machine. There were also a lot of iron, you know, so we had to took away this iron with our hands, and with this money of the iron, we could buy the things for the reconstruction, the things for the theater, the computer, for the music hall, and so on. And when we started to work, a lot of people knew that there was something happens in this place in the city, and they came saying, "What are you doing? Can I do this? I would like to do this. Okay, can I help? Okay." And so in this way, we started to reconstruct it. This is okay. These are the bathroom that we had to renovate totally, because they were the bathroom for young men of the 60s. You know, we wanted to do bathroom for women, for men, with the shower, for disability, and so on. This was the first things. But we started to work. We made also some assembly with the people, the workers of the theater, the workers of the music, the workers of... But the first things that we saw was that it's stupid to oblige or to ask to all the workers of the theater of the city to work together, because usually they didn't do this. Also the workers of music, the artists, and so on. But it was more intelligent to make some different people work together in a multidisciplinary project. But what all this kind of participative renovation was interesting, because the artists of theater built the theater, the artists of music built the music hall, who made the workshop for kids, made the bibliothèque for the kids. So it was really a participative reconstruction with the citizens. Most of them were not our friends. It was not a group of friends. A lot of people came, we met them, and we made it together. The kids also made their room. This was, well, I don't show you a lot of photos like this, but there are a lot of photos. It was a month and a half of reconstruction. And before the opening, we made things with Laboratorio Urbano Aperto that was nice. We take the piece of the motors with the invite to the opening, put somewhere in the city, and we asked them to return that. So we saw where they took it, and it was a questionnaire. It was a starting of analysis of the city and the quarter and the district. So there was the opening. We opened it 5 minutes before 7 as the clock. And at the end of these works, this was Manifattura Knos. I will show you a map. Here from the top, here there is a music hall, here a radio station, here the theater and the room for dancer and theater. This is the bathroom. This is another training room, the bibliothèque for the kids, a storage, and here is not present, but there is a place for a manual workshop and where we construct everything we need inside. Here there are the office. Here there is Cineporta, I will tell you. Here there is a conference hall and the kitchen and the bar. and here another storage, and here there is a room for a student where they can study, make lab, and so on. And this is a big hall of everything is 4,000 square meter, and this is 300. And we'll show you what we have done inside. The second one, it was better. This is the bar during the day. So some photos of the place with some exposition. We recycled everything. These are, for example, these were the desk of the student that became the desk for the bar. Everything was recycled. Everything. So these were there was the electricity for the machine, and they became in the hands of Maurizio the very nice lamp. This is the biblioteca for kids, Biblioteca Bruno Munari. This was an open space technology. We asked to all the people interested to culture to come as, and there was a question, what we could do with the culture, why culture? And we discussed for one day, and it was very useful for us to understand what was useful in our city or not. There came a lot of artists, professionists, citizens, public functionary, and so on. We discussed and we produced a report that was the base for a big project it was financed by Europe. These are other lamps with recycled tappi that makes by Maurizio. These are exposition, concert. This is a manual workshop for kids, because our kids usually don't use any instrument, because Mamma of south of Italy is not always happy of this. We make a house on the trees with Dario and other people. These are some scientific experiment workshop with the researcher of Nanotechnology National Laboratory of the university. They came once a month for doing this kind of experiment, really nice. The name of the workshop was Also Scientists Were Kids. These are one of the lot of theater shows that we did. This is Accademia degli Artefatti in our theater. These are things with Tony Clifton circus with the kids of the school that came to see the exposition and so on. You can see Capoeira. These are a company of Ida Shigemi from Kyoto Art Center. Not only Europe, also other center. They came in artistical residence in Manifattura Knos and in the land, in our country, in our region. What we ask to the artists that are in residence is not to stay alone with their works, but to interact with the people, with the citizen, with the city, with the land. It was a physical theater, workshop, exposition. We host also the Muslim community that have no big space for the big religious party that they that they make once a year. Yes, there was the suite. It's like Eastern, no. This is the bicycle repair shop where people can come twice a week and find someone that can help them, give the instrument and for free. All these things were done without money. We hadn't money, public money. So it was all the reconstruction. We had some money for the machine, but all the works of the reconstruction and the activity was all voluntary, totally. We sell the tickets, so on, but it was only for little fees, you know. This is another music hall. We made some meetings, public meetings, and so we had the best practice prize from our region, Puglia region, because of these things, for the having gave back to the city this place in this way, with the participation of all citizens. This was possible. I want to say this. We became. We are a sort of model for other things in our region. For this, we had the award, and now the regional administration is financing 175 places like this, smaller like us, all over in the region. And the thing is that they finance the reconstruction, and after they gave to cultural association, no profit, the management, the government of this place. So they are free, they are independent. They are made 175 is something really incredible. And our experience was important. Also for all these kind of places that are starting to works, and we are starting to create some network. How this was possible? This was possible because we didn't want to make a place where a group of people had everything to do. It was so too much for us, no? You know. So we didn't want that in our association, Associazione Sud-Est, that have the convention with the public administration, founded by me, Maurizio Buttazzo, and Gemma Montinaro. We didn't want that everyone came in the unique association and doing a long assembly to discuss everything to do. We asked all people that came freely, spontaneously, to construct other associations that could make different projects. And we wanted to be the last one to do the thing. Just not the first one with 10, 50 people that decide everything, but people that let the other do. Create the good condition for the others. So the unique rule that we have, that resist, we tried different rule, but the unique rule that resist is who propose, he does. And it's very, very important, you know, because it's related to the autonomy of organization, who have the idea, have the right to do it, and also because too much time people come and say, you should do this, you should do this, you should. Okay, you think that we should do this? Do it. Just do it. And then they start to say, but I need money, I need people, I need instrument. Yes, we too. We don't produce money, you know, so even if we are thinking about a project of producing money, we will produce money. So, what happens? After this, everything was okay, but the normative. Nothing was with the safety regulations, because the school could work for 30 years without problem, but after some months of our action that was explosive in the city, administration said that there was no any kind of safety regulation. So we had to block our, we had two possibilities, or occupy ourselves, our space, where we were, or try to find the money for renovation, for the second renovation, for the safety regulations. And so there was a new foundation, regional foundation, Apulia Film Commission, that asked us to bring there this Cineporto, that is only a logistic place for film production. They wanted the whole space, but we said, okay, we can give you 400 square meters, and it was also a part that we hadn't. It was of the provincial administration, but okay. And with this money, if you came, you have they had 400,000 euro, and we said them, okay, if you come, we make the reconstruction, okay, the renovation. But this renovation was terrible, you know, because all our work was destroyed, totally destroyed, totally. We had to make the roof, you know, against the fire and so on. So everything was terrible, because we have to change also the windows. It was a good thing, but it was made by the public administration, not by us. And it doesn't work really always in a good way in south of Italy, but also in other places. So the time was so long. With the same money, we could do twice the double of things in half time. To be honest, more maybe. So this was the situation. You know, we tried to cover our machine. This was Cineporto that make the money could arrive thanks to this. And this of Cineporto is a project of Studio Metamor, the studio of Juri Battaglini that is here. Juri was also the operative director of this work of renovation, so he had to add the hard problem on him. And this was the Cineporto finished.
Wow.
Luxury, eh? But the rest of the place was not finished. Okay, the time is not the same time, but just to say you that the other part of the place we had to. Here we are with Gemma and our lawyers, you know, because it was really incredible. Okay. So what we had to do? We had to renovate another time all the the place, because the enterprise leave the space destroyed. So other people came. There was some people that was all the time, but other people came, and a second time there was voluntary participative reconstruction. They are the really nice moment, because people come and do things. Yes, there was also some reproduction during the period. This is Andrea Serena with Anna. We had to make something else. Our lawyer, our architect. So at the end, the space was done. And we said, okay, we can open. We made a second opening with Cineporto and so on, a lot of institutions, and we said, okay, we can start. Like this place is for the new generation. A new way is going. But during this period, we had done the project with all the people, with the open space and so on. And during this people, we was discussing with the institution, and so the regional administration, provincial administration, and municipality were together, also of different political colors, to support this kind of project, and Europe financed it. So in this moment arrived 1 million euros. Not to us, always to the public administration for this. But the project was made by me, the project for Europe, by the architect, by the people, the citizen, for all the other things. So the project was made by us, but the money was for the public administration. So another time, another works. I don't give you the photos of the second destruction, but we had to renovate everything a third times.
Wow.
Okay, I don't go because we had not the time, but this is our history. With this million of euro, 700,000 was used for the renovation. We made the wiring, the open doors for security, the floor broken, the climatization for warming and cooling, the other windows, a lot of things that were important for us and for the normative. A great installation of solar collector. We have photovoltaic and thermic, so we are autonomous and ecological. Che c'è dopo? Ah, okay. This is after the third one, okay? This is now. During this period, there was a crisis because we couldn't work inside, so we started to talk about what to do in the future. So we started to talk about economy, about bureaucracy, about a lot of the management of this place in the future. We were not working, all the people that were together with us, 50 persons. So we started to do meetings, assembly, And at the end there were two different visions. One vision was we constitute a group, we decide everything, and we make a strong identity. This was interesting, but it was not the idea of the first moment, because the idea was, even if when we started we had really not idea what to do, it was something emerging inside us to do something. But the idea it was to create a space open to a lot of people. So the theater, we didn't want it that there was only a company that made only its own work, but that could be a place for a lot of people working in the theater, in artistic resident, free, and so on. And so at the end, we find a solution, and we could start. We will start again in September. I said you 700,000 euro for this, 150,000 euro we are using it for the technological high-tech instrument, for lights, theater, sound, and so on. And 150,000 euro are for activities, cultural activities. What we are thinking is that we should not use this money, we are doing in this day a public competition, a public advice, asking everyone to propose a project and to use this money. Even if we are other ways to make our things, we will organize things. We have the bar, we have other things. And we also won a competition, a regional competition for public space managed by cultural association. And we have 100,000 euro from the regional administration with 20,000 euro of co-financing. With this money we can pay people to work. So there will be 5 people paid half-time for organization, logistics, reception, and communication. So we will start to pay people also. This is very good. This is a thing that we done. The photo are a little okay, but this is one thing that we done a month or 2 months ago. These are a moment in which all the associations that manage the other cultural center in our region and the project, innovative project of young people financed by regional administration, meet together and start to make networking. So you can see how our place can be used. These things were projected by Studio Metamor and Maurizio. So they discuss and so on. This is outside. There is also another space in the other side where you can see here is a university and the hostel. Something about future. Our idea is to university doesn't use really this place. So our idea is to take it in one year, maybe, and starting to use it, a lot of rooms for artistical residence or for an arts school. We are discussing about this. And also the hostel, the student hostel, it would be nice. So all this place that I showed you by Google Earth could be an interesting cultural center. But during the period in which we didn't work it inside because there were the works, we had to do something. We wanted to do something. And it was good that we couldn't use all the time this place because we were obliged to go outside in the city. And what we done, it was to reproduce the same way in the renovation of our building, that was doing it with the citizen and with the institution together. So we found Laboratorio Urbano Aperto and we started a big project in the city, a project of a urban renovation with the citizen and the institution. I learned a lot during this period. For example, that if you want to do a urban project with citizen, you have to be sure that you will do this project. You have not to make illusion, you know. And for this, you need the institution. But Juri will tell you better about this process after my lecture in a quick way, but in a deep. I read, so. In a deep way, but you will see it's something really. It's magic. It's fantastic because. Is another way of thinking the city. We don't think that the municipality should, as with the building for culture, should as their architect, and they go and renovate without talking with the citizen. And this project show that not only citizens are involved, but they, by the way also of the association, they are the projectists and the realizer, they made the reconstruction. So it's something really basic for us. This is the planning for real that I showed you the other days, but it's only one moment of this long project. So just the last thing. What is at stake? What does means what I told you? How to say which is the political things that is implied in these things? Robert asked me to talk you a little bit about my work, about what does mean that I'm a researcher and a teacher of economic philosophy. It's not so easy to explain what is economic philosophy, but how can I say? I don't try to find some prescription to go out crazy, for example, or the way to produce more. But the thing is why we produce, for example. What does mean produce? Why we are here, dressed, talking, in which sense we are now a sort of community. What does means? Why each day we wake up and go to work or do other things? For sure, each of we must have an answer, but maybe it's important to think about it. So I study Marx, Adam Smith, Hayek, Aristotle, and so on. They talk about this, but is it true that I don't like intellectuals? What means intellectual for me? Intellectual, someone that study, okay, have maybe good things, sometimes good ideal construction, and then there is someone that have to try to verify if this good idea works, and so you do some experiment. I think it's better to do just something else. For example, when I started this lecture, I told you that Manifattura Knos is an experience, not an experiment. And from this experience, from this practice, I try to learn from the mistake, from the good things. And from the practice, doing the things, I learned that we were thinking, doing the things. And maybe just now we are starting to bring into words what we have done after. For example, an idea is not the only one, but an idea that involves us is the idea of third place. Is an idea that comes from a Gardner philosopher, French Gardner philosopher, that is Gilles Clément, who started really simply doing his garden, managing his garden. And in this way, he started to see an interesting relationship between human and nature. And he wrote Les Jardins Mouvement after he wrote the Manifest of Third Landscape. What is this third landscape? He says that there are not only two landscapes that usually we know, who plan the landscape, or the architect, the urbanist, and so on. The first one is the wild nature in its conservative equilibrium. And the second one is the landscape managed by men, the urban and agricultural landscape, you know. He said that there is another landscape, the third one, that is on the border of the two, and is, for example, the place abandoned by men. For example, from each day, from here to the military house where we are, we make a passage that is a third landscape. A place abandoned by men, but not covered by the conservative equilibrium of nature. That means it's a place where something new can happen. I think that third place could be for us, cultural center, independent cultural center, something interesting for our works. I think that also this place, Stanica, for example, where we are, is a third place, like Manifattura Knos or Antique Theatre. The place where the third place is not a physical place only, it's a political place. It does not mean that it is a place for politics, because politics is always the space and the time where we live, where we are. It's a place opened, an open place, a place where not everything is decided. Gilles Clément say we should give more political relevance to indecision. The place not totally decided. So, for example, also the park, no, that you manage, it was a third landscape, abandoned, that became a third place, where we organize things, yes, but we should not decide everything. We should let this place being open to something that was not decided, not projected, pre-decided. So I think that this is a new possibility, a new economy, a new politics, because you know we are not the state. We use public money, but we are not governed by the state, by the bureaucrats. We are not the private sector. We make exchange with the private enterprise. We sell something beer and shows, but we are not for profit. We have not this obligation. So we are something different. And these third things we should make emerge it as the ground of the two, and the first one. And I think that this is the way for real participation. This is what we do in the city, our idea of city. This is what we do in our place. And I think that this is our what we could give as experience to the others, also in Trans-Europal, as in the network, because the network is really important. Now we are in a I just finished. I study Marx, Smith, and so on. I write books about this. And I agree, I think, with Michel Foucault in this course of Collège de France, The Birth of Biopolitics, where he said that now we are not in this opposition. Because the new governance of the world is something strange, something different from the ancient liberalism or the ancient socialism, as you want. There is something kind mixed, and the name is the neoliberalism. And this neoliberalism is not like the ancient liberalism that said laissez-faire, let the market do, separation between state and market. But the neoliberalism say we need more state for more markets. that is what Europe does in Europe, what Monti is doing in Italy, a strong state to impose competition. That is the right, right way in each relationship of our life. What I think is that maybe we should try to have less state and less market for more third place, maybe. So I will show you just a 2 minutes video made by an idea of Maurizio and made by many of us that explain this idea that I don't know, you can say that is if you want call it anarchy, okay, you can. Is utopian? I don't know. If now we are an utopia, we don't exist. Maybe we don't exist, but I think it's so. So I will show you this because it explains the spirit with that we had when we made Manifattura Knos, the spirit that we have when we work. Okay, so now I ask to Juri Battaglini to come and tell us the history of Via Leuca.
I don't like to read, but I need to read because my English is not so. It's a little.
About the urban project of renovation with the citizen in the city.
Yeah.
No, pausa, pausa. Pausa.
Okay. In 2003, I founded with other six persons our association that is called LUA, L-U-A, Laboratorio Urbano Aperto, and Michele said something about us first. LUA try to build a design process with inhabitants. We try to do this. We are 4 architects, 1 urban planner, 1 journalist, and a mathematical logician. I don't know why he's with us, but he's a mathematical logician. We made various projects, including a slow establishment of an agricultural park in Salento, in the south of Salento. It's about 6,000 hectares of olive trees, ancient olive trees. and we cooperated with 10 small towns that surround the park, and with residents, municipalities, and the regional government. The design process of the park is still going on, and we are in a good phase we are in a good stage to realize this park. But we met in 2007. We met Knos. And in 2008 we started talking about how to program a process that physically could change the city, and we talk about what should be the best way to transform our city. We talk a lot about the method we could use to start this design process. So we had a lot of meetings and decided to deal with a neighborhood called Leuca, and this picture. Leuca has a long road that connected the ancient center of the town with the south of Salento, and is now full of traffic. It's a strange road. Lecce is a beautiful Lecce is in the south of Italy, and is a Baroque city. We have a beautiful you look we have a beautiful ancient city center, but the rest of the city is completely lack of public space. No good public services, like for example public transport. Our buses are empty. You can see them going around completely empty. Everybody is in the car. So it's a strange city. No public parks, no parks at all. Only private gardens. A lot of private gardens for one or two person, and no public park, no green area. You can look. We have some big green areas, but it's all private. So this is Leuca. This is Leuca, and this is the road, the Leuca Street. And we had a meeting with the municipality, Lua, Knos, and the municipality, and we explained that what we would do. They liked our idea, and we started working with our money, without money, with some money of us. Lua, Knos, and many associations who were born in Knos or collaborated with the Knos started to work together. We started to work all together. So we started to work on the road. The workshop we called Scusi per Via Leuca is excuse me, where is Via Leuca? Where is Leuca Street? And we started to work on the road, and we knocked some doors, talked to people, listened to them, trying to understand what was the perception that people have of their neighborhood. After this preliminary stage, yes, we go around, we explore the city, and supported by Santa Claus, we started to go around the neighborhood. And after this preliminary stage, we inaugurated an 8 days on-the-road workshop, in which we invited everybody to participate. Associations, informal groups, inhabitants, and everybody. Everybody had to follow only 2 rules. The first rules is you had to propose a topic relevant for the city. And the second rule was to explore the topics, the themes, with inhabitants. You have to do this with inhabitants. Is understandable? Yeah. Are you understanding? Okay. We composed a group for each theme. for each topic, and start to go around the streets. So we can go. These are some moments of the workshop. We go around the streets, talk to residents, listen their point of view about living in their neighborhood. Energy saves. We talk about energy saving services, public spaces, green areas, spaces, more spaces for children's, public city light, and so on. Because in this part of the city, light is you can see it's not so safe. I think it's not so. It's how to say pericoloso. It's dangerous. Yeah. At the end of the workshop, we ask each group to write a report, and they a report about what they did and what they thought it was important to do for the neighborhood, for Leuca. We put the reports all together and we composed the document, what we call the document for urban regeneration. In the document, we identified 18 themes, 18 topics. These are some reports of the associations, and we put in a matrix with 8. Here are all the associations, and these are the topics that are, for example, public spaces, green area, what I said before. So, at the end, yes, 18. So altogether with municipality to decided that there was a priority. Decided that the design of public space was the priority for the neighborhood. We have to of Leuca, and it's a closed area because you see the railway. Then here's the railway. The part is this. Here are some quarries of stones, local stones, and the railway and this street that link Lecce to San Cesario, that is a little town near Lecce. So it's a forgotten area of the city. So we were back on the road. We started again to knock every doors and to explore the part. So we saw forgotten roads, local stone quarries, low houses, some buildings, some 7-story buildings, and the railroad, a small park built in the 80s. This was the picture we saw before, Michele shows. Here are where our exploring. These are the quarries. So we knocked every doors and listened again to the residents. The people now know our faces, and this has created a confidential relationship. It's very important, but we make our faces, they know our faces, so we cannot stop. We have to go on. So, after the exploration, we decided to build a model. We decided to build a model, a low-tech model we made of paper and polystyrene to work with residents on it. We thought it could be a good way to get real information and ideas for the project. So we settled it along a road, yes, these are the images, and started to work with inhabitants. It was Sunday. We invited the people to come, and we had a lot of fun with the residents and children around this model, putting the flags on it. The flags had some keywords like tree, animal, benches, light, fountain. You could write on the flags what you wanted to have in your neighborhood. And at the end of this day, at the end of the session, we had a lot of information about this part of the neighborhood. So we decided to put all the information on some layers, and now we say there are 34 layers that describe what we asked from people that day. For example, dangerous places, lighting, cycling, and so on, parks, romantic places, a lot of things. 34 layers. I go. Wait. Volpi, wolves. Volpi, come si dice volpe? Fox. Foxes. Sunday query. Yes, in the query. Birds, and so on. Free animals. We had a lot of free dogs in the city. And these are all the layers all together. In this way, we had all we needed to program what it wasn't, but it wasn't enough. We had a lot of information, but we thought it wasn't enough. We structured the program design of the road renovation in two parts. The first part is 1 kilometers long, and the second part is 2.5 kilometers long. And this is the second that link the quarries with the urban center along Leuca Street. In 2010, in collaboration with municipality, we participated to a competition, a regional call for projects, and our urban design was selected as the best as the best project in the region. There were other 48 participants. We can wait. Okay. And so we won 8 million euros to build the project program. The first part of the program has 1 million euro, and the second part, the other 7 millions. So now we are completing the first part, and in October we will start with the second part. I said it wasn't enough because let's go on. These are some pictures of the project, of the design, urban design. This is the first part, as it was and as it could be. Some drawings. This is the second part that will start in October, November, probably. This is the ancient city, and the Via Leuca is in that way. And this is the new square and the new park. So it was enough. It wasn't enough, because the most important thing is that instead of using all the money to complete the construction, we proposed to use around 600,000 euros to support projects of cultural associations. So we published a call for project in collaboration with municipality. This is on internet. You can find this call for project. And so 13 associations in the first part of the project proposed 13 projects that were all financed. Each project was made for residents and with residents. So self-made benches, lamps, neighborhood. One of the proposals was a neighborhood newspaper. So I finished. A theater festival, a cooking workshop, a research of social psychology, and so on. The problem was to integrate all the projects with the main project, with the overall project. So we again had many meetings with the associations. We decided and we wrote a timetable to synchronize the action of associations and the phases of construction, the site. So it was a hard work. Yes. This is a map where every action of association, we decided where to put every action along the road, the street. This is the timetable. That is very complicated, and we have to not to synchronize what the association want to do and the works, the construction. This is one of this is by Induma, is a festival, a theater festival that we made in the neighborhood in June. Showcase, yeah. In September and October there will be 25 events in the neighborhood organized by association, but we never have seen something like this in our city, because the important thing is that the events are organized by associations and in collaboration with inhabitants, with architects and municipalities. So we think it is important, very important, to have a really multidisciplinary vision of our work. It seems to be the most interesting way to transform urban environment. So I finished.
We have a little time for questions.
How many people live in this area?
Just a second.
This area?
I will.
Leuca? No.
No, I want to ask Maurizio to come here so we can answer together. Vieni qua così rispondiamo. Vieni. Vieni. Vabbè, rispondiamo insieme, no? Vabbè. So.
No, all the neighborhood, 20,000 inhabitants. But we divided in two projects, and the first part about 1,000. Yes. We talked with 600 persons in this along the years. Not more. Not all 20,000 was difficult. Not everybody participated.
This is the base of participation.
Yes.
You can't be obliged. No.
Force.
Force it.
Selma.
We were so clear. Okay.
A question?
Perfect.
About Knos? Something about Knos? No.
We said everything. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.